Hi, this is Taos Talks with Kenny Astrodude and Ann, and so much going on, I don't even know where to begin. But we're going to begin with this incredible event coming up, which is called Lion's Gate. You might have heard of it. There's been a lot of talk around this. And we are essentially now in Leo time. We always are in August. August is the time of Leo. Leo is ruled by the lion. The lion is, in its highest context, the Leo energy. The lion energy is about dignity and about strength and power, loyalty and heart. Leo rules the heart. But this is a particularly powerful Leo time this year in August because we're coming up to the new moon on the 8th, just in a couple of days, and that this is Leo, the 8th sign of the zodiac. 8 is a very powerful number, of course. It's about infinity, but we're having the new moon, as we have every year in the sign of Leo in August time. Every month we have a new moon and a full moon. But this Leo new moon, which means the moon and sun will both be in the same place and conjunct, sitting next to each other in Leo, which happens every year. But this is a particularly powerful one because it is against the backdrop of the constellation Sirius, the dog star. And this is a very enlightened, very high energy configuration, this particular new moon in Leo. It's very powerful. And that the new moon always is about the beginning of the lunar cycle and where we plant the seeds of our intentions for the month. But this one is particularly powerful, is an energetic portal in which we can transcend whatever limitations we've been experiencing in our life, whatever old habits or circumstances that have been weighing us down. We can literally, really move through the portal and change our lives incredibly at this time. This is an energetic boost. It's very powerful. So that whatever intention you hold will likely come to pass, will likely manifest. This is a remarkable period. And that this can be used for positive or negative, that a portal is a neutral energy. It's entirely up to us what we bring through the portal in terms of our intentions. But it's very exciting, and to intensify this whole process, that we've been in a period in which the planet Saturn, which is a 28-year cycle, has been in the sign of Aquarius all year. Everything's in the blender of change in the world. It is a total disruption. All of the traditional structures and systems and governments are being questioned. Everything is in the blender. Everything is disrupted. This is a period which might seem on the outside to be very chaotic and very difficult and painful in many ways. But yet it's just the essence of truth fomenting from underneath and building steam as the world is waking up and standing up for their rights and for their freedoms against all oppression. So that this Lion's Gate portal, new moon, Leo, coming up in just a couple of days, is especially powerful because it is a fire energy. It's about bringing our ideas into the flame of truth and empowerment and manifestation. Leo is a generous energy. It's all about thinking big and going for it and not limiting yourself and not holding back. And so envision big things. Don't limit the vision of what you want in your life. This is a chance, a time for all of us to, as I say, manifest what we really want on a heart level. Because Saturn in Aquarius is shaking up everything in the world, that its opposition to the Lion Gate new moon is particularly powerful with Saturn, which is called the taskmaster, which is all about how we're confronting our reality as a collective people. In Aquarius, opposite Leo, it means that we get to really detach, to stand back and observe the whole picture of what's going on in our personal lives and what's going on in the world. This is a remarkable time. We get to truly have an objective understanding.
So, Ken, from what I understand that you're saying is that this is a really powerful time, that energy is coming through this Lion's Gate portal, and that this is an opportunity for us to use this energy to change our lives, change our planet, change everything. So what exactly are some of the ways that we can take advantage of this energetic changing?
So the best way to work with this energy is certainly to meditate, to get out of all the distractions that keep us busy in our day-to-day lives, really to hold the vision of what you want. and it likely will come to pass. Now, this happens every year, as I said. This is something that happens mid-August, this new moon. But with Saturn opposing, it provides an opportunity energetically to see the bigger reality of our lives. So important to meditate, to take time out, just to really focus on what you want, not to get caught up in the fervor of distraction. So this has great impact on a planetary level, especially with Saturn in opposition to it. And that hasn't happened in 28 years, so that's quite something. But the planet Uranus, which I always make great reference to, is a planet that takes about 83, 84 years to make one full orbit, and is the only planet in our solar system which wobbles. It's literally off its axis. It has an erratic, energetic influence to us here on planet Earth. It's been dubbed the planet of upheaval and change and chaos, and also innovation and very brilliant new ideas and technologies. Uranus is about change in a very big sense, and it's been in Taurus now for a couple of years. And during this Lion Gate period that we're coming into in the next couple of days, Uranus is going to be in a square. This is a 90-degree angle to both the planet Saturn and to the Sun-Moon position in Leo. Well, a square is a tension angle. And we've been feeling this Uranus-Saturn tension square all year. There's been tremendous chaos in the world on many levels, and there's tremendous division in this country, in America particularly. But the whole world is going through this period of chaotic kind of reassessment of themselves, of their lives, of their governments, of their institutions. This is happening collectively worldwide. And Uranus in square, jabbing at Saturn and jabbing at the Sun and Moon, particularly on the 8th, on Sunday, is especially volatile. There's a volatility attached to this, which is why it's really important that we do find quiet time to meditate, to contemplate on what we want in our lives. It can happen that the old conditions which are antiquated and no longer work are falling away very quickly in our world, but we can also get caught up in the anxiety of the stress connection from Uranus, which is just trying to really pull us out of the old conditions. If we resist and hold on, we will suffer. But let me just make a reference about Sirius. It's been called the dog star, and that's because it's the dog days of summer. This is kind of how it got this name. And it really comes up at dawn. It rises with the sun, and this happens every year around June 25th until around middle August, actually around the 11th, with the exact sun conjunction in Sirius happening on July 5th or 6th. Sirius rises before the sun on August 7th and 8th, so that if you have a clear sky at dawn, you'll actually be able to see Sirius, which is the brightest star in our solar system, in our universe, and you'll see it rise just before the sun, around the 7th and 8th, so coming up this Saturday at the Lion's Gate. So why is this important? The fact that Sirius, first of all, is the brightest star that we see at night, that it is in, by the way, the constellation of Canis Major. So this bright, powerful energy radiates incredible radiation. All of the constellations are radiating electrical, magnetic energy, and life force. This is why astrology is real. This is why that the constellations and the planetary placements are significant and have influence. But because this is the brightest star and it rises at dawn with the sun and moon both in Leo, this coming Sunday is just incredible. So pay attention to this opportunity to shift your life energy. This is literally an infusion of powerful light energy, which can literally shake us out of our old conditions. So yes, there's great validity and importance at this exciting day coming up just around the corner.
I understand that this is affecting, this energetic time is affecting all of us. And so I have to ask the question, how is this affecting Joe Biden and Donald Trump? What is happening with them at this Lionsgate portal?
Now, what's very interesting is that both Joe Biden and Donald Trump, since you asked me about them, are both with the planet Pluto in Leo in their charts. They're both Pluto-Leo people. Anyone born from 1939 to 1956 has the planet Pluto in Leo. And that is interesting because they're 4 years apart. Joe Biden was born in 1942 and Trump in 1946. So they both have Pluto in early Leo. And so this energetic portal of the new moon conjunction, sun, moon in Leo, happens to land on their Pluto positions, both of them. And this is interesting because it means that they're both kind of really reassessing their future, what they want in their lives, and envisioning what they're going to do next. So in terms of what Biden's ambitions are at this point, and in terms of what he foresees in terms of his presidency at this point, and what Trump, perhaps in his ambitions, is holding on to and planning for his future, whatever that might look like. It's actually quite nice during this portal opening on Sunday, Monday, for Joe Biden, actually, because it's going to be in a trine. This is a very fluid angle to his Venus position, which he has in Sagittarius. And this is actually going to be more this Saturday, tomorrow, actually, and as we get into early Sunday. So this is nice. Venus is our heart and how we love. He has Venus in Sagittarius, and it inclines him to be a very international, philosophical person. But this works well with him and probably will improve his personal relationship with his wife. And so this looks good for him in terms of the actual date of the portal. Now, he's going to be, Joe Biden, feeling much more tested as the sun moves into the latter degrees and the moon of Leo. Now, this is going to be a little more difficult come Monday, now the 9th coming up. That's going to be a little hard because that the moon will then be in square or stress to Joe Biden's sun sign. That'll be hard. He'll likely be feeling more introspective and perhaps even very emotionally vulnerable. But that's quick moving. But then when the sun moves into late Leo and makes that same square stress angle to his sun sign, this is where he's going to likely have some particularly difficult challenge on his plate. That can be very difficult. This is going to be around the 20th and 21st of this month now, August. He experiences every year during late Leo time. But it is where one just feels kind of out of sorts. There's not a sense of really feeling integrated or connected in one's life. It can be very difficult, very sullen, emotional, actually. So this is a once-in-a-year configuration. It's not a monster thing. As I said in my last podcast, that Saturn will next year be actually in opposition to his sun sign. He'll begin to feel this. It won't be exact, but as we get into March, April, May of next year, the spring. Now, that's going to be a real turning point where he's going to have some very major life decisions to make and where he might feel very cornered by certain events in his life at that time. But let's move on and take a look at Mr. Trump. A whole different flavor for Donald. In terms of the portal this coming Sunday, this is operating out of his 12th house. This is the hidden inner subconscious part of our character, and which he has Leo ruling in his chart. So it's kind of like he's up to something. He's gestating some plan from underneath, and that as Leo's moon on Monday moves into the latter degrees, it will be sitting on his ascendant, the moon, and on his Mars position. Donald Trump is a Leo rising, and the outer persona is our ascendant. And so he comes off like a lion, certainly, and he has Mars in his birth chart sitting there, which is our drive and our ego and our initiative. And so being a Mars Leo ascendant person does tend to incline one to have a big ego and very, very strong sense of self and confidence, without question. So the moon will be Monday sitting on his ascendant. So he's going to kind of be coming out of hiding or whatever he's been working on over these next few days. But then, as we get into late Leo, next on around the 22nd, as I said, for Joe, that's going to be more challenging. And it's a quick moving aspect. But for Donald, it is, I think, where he's coming up with some kind of action. I have no idea what that is. But I think he's going to be in full gear as we get to around the 22nd, 23rd of this month now, August, because it's going to trine or set off a very benign connection to his moon, his emotional personality, which he has in Sagittarius, and his sun sign, which he has in Gemini. Donald Trump is a full moon person. He was born on the full moon. So he's experienced tremendous extremes in his life. He has had a very polarized existence. But the Leo time really fuels his energy, so he's up to something. Biden has Sagittarius on the ascendant, so it's going to be a very different energetic. As I said, he experiences a very harmonious energy on the Lion's Gate this Sunday. It works well for him, actually. He's much more challenged than, as I said, the next day, Monday, and then towards the 22nd. For Donald Trump, as I say, he's coming into some very exciting aspects in his chart. Don't know what he's up to, but the trine is the most benign angle, and so when the sun is in this positive relationship, as it will be, to his fiery Leo moon and his in sextile 60 degrees to his airy Gemini sun, it tends to be more favorable for him than I think things will be for Joe Biden around the 21st, 22nd. So just interesting. But this portal, this Lionsgate portal, is not so obvious with Donald Trump over the next few days. But I think that Joe is feeling a greater sense of confidence over the next couple of days as we get into the weekend. So, quite an exciting time on the planet. Uranus in Taurus, which is ripping up everything that we know, intention square to Saturn, which is ripping up everything we know. The world is in profound transformation. And so remember to sit and meditate on what you want. This is a powerful portal that can bring in great life opportunities for all of us. So many blessings. And until next time, this is Taos Talks with Kenny Astrodude and Ann.